Now, your KNWA Power Doppler forecast first.
Hello everyone, welcome to Monday evening. We do have more rain showers down to the south of us. Nothing going on right now. It's going to be a nice evening, and pretty much for a lot of the overnight period, we're not going to see a whole lot. We have some rain showers taking place well down to the south of us, associated with a warm front down that way. That warm front is going to be moving closer to our area going through the next couple of days, so rain chances will remain in the forecast, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll talk about your 7-day coming up, but here's your news.
Now, with Northwest Arkansas News, always, this is KNWA Live at 5.
Now on KNWA, a local man still has not been found after an accident on Beaver Lake. Good evening, I'm Neely Jones. Matt Turner has the night off. The search continues on Beaver Lake. Investigators looking for 39-year-old Doug Farnsworth. He has been missing since Friday after he was involved in a boating accident. KNWA's Liz Hogan is live in our newsroom. And Liz, you spoke with his brother today.
I did, Neely, and as you can imagine, this is a very difficult time for him, but he said he and his family are still holding out hope Doug will be found alive.
Past few days, were mostly about trying to get information and coming to terms of what could possibly be very devastating news.
Investigators were out on the water again Monday, searching for Doug Farnsworth. Farnsworth was on a fishing boat with another man Friday evening when their boat collided with another. The details of the accident are still under investigation by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Investigators say Farnsworth was not wearing a life jacket. Farnsworth's younger brother, Derek, says the uncertainty is agonizing.
It hurts so much because there was so much there, so much love involved is why it hurts so much.
Derek says Doug was his role model growing up.
He's what every little brother would hope for in a big brother. Some of my fondest memories and many of my first experiences in life he was part of.
Derek says his big brother was a great swimmer. As the days and hours go by, he and his family are hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst.
He is a great guy, and he needs to be found. He needs to be found.
The Benton County Sheriff's Office has suspended the search for today. Neely.
All right, Liz, thank you. We continue to wait today to hear what a judge will sentence Brandon Lacey to. Will it be the death penalty? Last week, a jury found Lacey guilty of capital murder and aggravated robbery. Lacey and a friend, according to prosecutors, killed a Garfield man. Prosecutors also said Lacey confessed the crime to family. Lacey's defense attorneys admitted he'd been involved, but said Lacey did show remorse. The Fayetteville Fire Marshal is looking into what caused a deck to collapse. About 20 people were standing on the upper deck of this Fayetteville home Saturday night. It gave way. 12 people crashed onto the concrete. Emergency crews rushed 6 to the emergency room. Several have broken bones. The homeowner, Kim Smith, says he thinks all of the recent rain may have caused the deck to collapse. The Arkansas Mission of Mercy free dental clinic helped more than 1,900 people in just 2 days. Dentists performed some 3,000 extractions and 1,400 fillings at the Northwest Arkansas Convention Center. Organizers say the dental care provided has a value of more than $800,000. The subject of free Wi-Fi came up at this morning's telecommunications board meeting in Fayetteville. The board made several recommendations regarding improving communication between city boards, administration, and the public, while at the same time maintaining records and compliance with the Freedom of Information Act. The biggest issue, wireless internet.
Councilmember Petty gave updates about a pilot project that's in the works right now that the city has contracted with an agency to roll out a small downtown area wireless network, and kind of learn from that experience and then determine how to grow, if we should grow, and how to pay for that.
You're invited to the next board meeting set for Wednesday at the PEG Center at noon. And in case you didn't know, it's National Tourism Week. Today is Arkansas Tourist Appreciation Day, in fact. It's all to honor tourists who have a big impact on Arkansas's economy. In 2008, tourists spent an estimated $5.5 billion in the natural state, and there are events planned all across Arkansas.
We just want to have an opportunity to thank people for choosing Arkansas for their travels this year.
For a complete list of activities, check out nwahomepage.com. Topping your Business Minute, recent growth in the solar power industry has slowed because of the global recession and tight credit from major banks. Both Germany and Spain report major banks cutting back on solar projects. Production of the tiny chips that convert the sun's rays into electricity could decline at least 20% this year alone. Now, during this recession, more people have stayed home for TV and movies, and that has satellite television providers, especially the Dish Network, eating up profits. First quarter earnings rose 21% for the nation's second largest satellite television provider. And while you're hanging out at the house, you may see lots of advertising. Toyota and Honda both have plans to run ads which feature the virtues of hybrid vehicles. Toyota will push its greenest car, the Prius, and Honda continues blanketing the airwaves with the Insight campaign. Experts say both campaigns will emphasize the social and economic benefits of green vehicles. Well, you may opt for a bicycle rather than a car. May 11th through the 15th has been named National Bike to Work Week. Fayetteville Mayor Lionel Jordan made the declaration over the weekend, and today starts the Bicycle Commuter Challenge. It's a competition to see which business logs the most miles on bikes, with prizes that include gift certificates to the Greenhouse Grill, Arcegas, and organic produce from Old Souls Organics. Visit nwahomepage.com for a registration form. Who knows, you could win. Now, if you do drive to work, don't forget Click It or Ticket in full force. Local officers have joined the national plan to crack down on seatbelt violations. The campaign runs from May 18th through May 31st. The Peace at Home Family Shelter will get some extra help thanks to the Washington County Sheriff's Department. Today, the third annual Sheriff's Elders Cops and Friends Classic Charity Golf Tournament took place at the Fayetteville Country Club. The Peace at Home Family Shelter received more than $23,000 today to help women leaving domestic violence situations. There's more news tonight at 6. The summer job market looking particularly tough for teens this year. KNWA's Carly Gordon explores why they could be competing with their parents. In national headlines, the U.S. military blames a stressed-out soldier after a deadly shooting spree in Iraq, and the White House gets a major boost in the plan to tackle health care reform. Contessa Brewer has your MSNBC 120.
Fixing America's ailing health care system. With rising health care costs eating away at the federal budget and household budgets, Team Obama gets unprecedented cooperation in its plan to overhaul the system. Today, the president announced health care providers have pledged to slow expanding costs by as much as $2 trillion over the next decade.
This is a historic day, a watershed event in the long and elusive quest for health care reform.
In Iraq today, military officials say a soldier who was being treated for war stress went on a shooting spree at Camp Liberty in Baghdad, killing 5 people. It was the worst non-combat related incident since the war began.
Such a tragic loss of life at the hands of our own forces is a cause for great and urgent concern. And I can assure you that it will get this department's highest priority attention.
An American journalist convicted of spying in Iran was released today after 5 months behind bars. Sources say Iran's president intervened on Roxana Sabari's behalf in hopes of winning over voters before next month's elections. Published reports say the pilot in a deadly commuter plane crash near Buffalo in February flunked several flight tests, but NBC News has learned that wasn't the only issue in the cockpit that day.
They let this aircraft fly way too slowly. It was at stall speed. They hadn't paid attention. And then when the plane started shaking, the stick was shaking like this, telling the pilot, pay attention, we're way too slow, push the nose forward to gain airspeed. He instead pulled it back.
On his first papal visit to Israel, Pope Benedict caused a stir by calling for an independent Palestinian homeland, and the shuttle Atlantis blasted off on a final repair mission to the Hubble telescope. NASA says it's a risky mission, so for the first time, a second shuttle is on standby in case the first one needs a rescue, and extra supplies on board for the crew. That's your MSNBC 120. I'm Contessa Brewer.
All right, thank you. Coming up, everyone wants to lower their bills. We've got some strategies to help you save. But first, this is the time of year weather gets wild. Coming up, Alex Flippin explains the safety solutions in our part of Tornado Alley.
If you see breaking news or have a story idea, call the KNWA Tips line today at 571-TIPS or the toll-free number you see here. 571-TIPS.